Hello everybody and welcome to Greg's Vintage Workshop, where I'm working to store history one piece at a time. Today we're going to be taking a look at part 4 of the 1935 Crosley 635 Buccaneer radio. And in part 4 I'm going to do some finish rust removal on the chassis, as well as we'll restuff the electrolytic can, and I will test the 2 IF transformers, clean them and re-lead them, and I believe I'm going to be probably testing out that cleaning and testing out the switch. So if we get anything else done, it might be there. If we don't, it won't. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so I have taken and wire brushed and grinded off the heaviest, crustiest rust off this, and I'm getting ready to put it on in a pan right here, and I'm going to soak it in evaporust. I'm just going to put it in there just deep enough to cover about 1/8 of an inch on the inside here, so I don't soak everything down on the other side of it. But I'll bring you back when I get that in there. Okay, I got her soaking in a aluminum foil pan of evaporust, and it's just slightly in, about 1/16 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch deep. Not even enough to cover the bottom of the tube sockets. There's a couple wires in there that'll be getting wet, but not all of them, just a couple of them. I'm not too worried about them. If I dry it out afterwards, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I can always replace the wires that got wet. But I think it's going to be okay. I think I need to leave it here for at least 24 to 48 hours to get the best effect. And then there's some other areas of rust on the side. I don't know if I'll just soak that way or if I'll put some navel jelly on it, but we'll get the rest of it derusted somehow. Okay, so this is probably going to be one of the easiest electrolytics I've ever restuffed, because where you normally would have to drill holes through and attach out here, these are single pieces of copper, and they already had holes in them for the rivets from where the original capacitor leads were attached with rivets. So I got that all cleaned up. I just took my drill and drilled a hole down the center of this section and screwed this 4-inch lag screw in there. I take it into my vise, use my heat gun, heat it up, and see if I can pull the innards out. I'll bring it back. Well, that was definitely the easiest one I think I've ever gotten out. A little bit of heat, that in the vise, and it slid right out. Right out of there. Clean as a whistle. So these are the negative leads that attach to that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a little hole out the side here and bring a wire out and attach to the underside of the chassis. So let me 3D print something to hold my new capacitors in the can, and I'll bring it back. Okay, so I printed out this sleeve here to hold my 3 new capacitors, which the originals was 2 8 microfarads at 450 volts and 1 8 microfarad at 250 volts, and I'm using 10s at 450 for all 3. So they're all three the same size. These slots are in here so that this can flex with and still hold them with some tension, and it'll slide right in there like that. But once I get the capacitors in it, it'll be a little bit snugger. So let me get the caps in there and I'll bring it back. Okay, so here it is with the three capacitors in it. They're all 10 microfarad at 450 volts. These two are the same brand. That's a little bit different brand, but they all fit in there nice. And this is going to still slide in here, only now it's got a little bit of tension on it, so it'll hold it nice. So the next step is to get the three leads soldered on there. I'll probably try and keep about a distance like that. That'll send that down a ways, so that then I can feed a negative wire through a little hole that I'll drill. I'll shove that all in there, put the wire through the hole, and then I can put that in there. So, okay, so I got that all soldered together. You can see each one of those soldered up really nice. I linked all of my negatives together. I got a lead coming out of that. I got all my leads that I wanted to get on top of this on here. So what I'm getting ready to do is slide this down in the can. And once I get the blue part past the, like that, once I get the blue part past, I'm hoping to be able to get the wire started in the hole that I drilled right there. But let's see if we can get that started. Get lucky. I got lucky. There we are. I got it in there. Now let me pull that a little tighter, like that. Get a pair of pliers in here so I can feed that better. Maybe. Yeah, like that. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Alright, so there's our lead. Now what I want to do is get some of this Gorilla Glue epoxy in there. This stuff actually works pretty good, I don't know. So, alright, so I got some in there. Now, if I can kind of spread that around in there like that. Work well, okay. I think we're good. So now, all we gotta do is go ahead and shove this on in there. I hope. Yep, like that. We're pretty good. So I'll get the rest of that cleaned up, because I hadn't cleaned that yet. And then that'll be done and ready to go in. And we'll feed this wire down beside the clamp part that goes in there, and it'll go on in there. So that'll be that. Okay, so you guys probably remember that the switch and the pot was really nasty and flaky as heck. So off camera I cleaned it up externally, as well as I shot some fader lube inside of it in the actual switch and in the potentiometer section. And we're getting ready to check in on our Simpson 360 here that Bill the old goat sent to me a couple years ago, and we'll see what it's going to do. Right now it's on the switch, and you can watch the meter. So right now the switch is on. We'll turn it off, and that 1.999 is what it's going to show when the switch is open. So now turn it on. 0.002 to 003. Off. On. Off. On. So yeah, so it's doing really good. Okay, so now let's go check the potentiometer on it. So the pot itself is 678,000 ohms, or basically a little over a half meg. Okay, within whatever percentage that is. So now I'll put it on center here, and we'll go ahead and go down with it. Okay, so dropping pretty smoothly. And we'll keep going down smoothly. And you can see it's actually doing really, really well. 9, 3, 2, 90, 30. And there we are. So I think it's going to be fine. So that's the pot. So we're working down these components here. Okay, so off camera, I checked these antenna coils, items 2, 3, and 4 here, which are the 540 to 725 kilocycles, the 1.7 to 5.2 megacycles, and the 5.3 to 15.5 megacycle antenna coils. And then I checked down here these oscillator coils, which 789, which is the 540, 725, 1.7, 5.2, and 5.3 oscillator coils. So those tested okay, I believe. They weren't open. So here's the numbers that I got on 2, 3, and 4. 4 I got 1.3 and 4, I'm sorry, 1.3 and 0.8. On 3 I got 3.1 and 1.0 ohms. This is the one that I'm concerned about because this one showed 43 ohms and 0.7. That just seems high. That's the 540 to 1725, so that'd be like the one that I would probably pick up, like the local broadcast station. So that one's concerning. Over here, this one tested 1.5 and 0.7. This one tested 2.7 and 6.9. And this one tested 1.7 and 2.8. Okay, so I'm getting ready to check the two IF transformers to make sure that they're okay. And if we look at the schematic here, this is the first IF, this is the second IF. And so we're going to do the first IF first. And hopefully you guys will be able to see this and disregard the stomping that's going on upstairs. Just my 3-year-old grandson. And hopefully he doesn't get too carried away. Alright, so we're going to go, I'll get you guys on the screen here. We're going to go green to red. Let's see what we get here. And it's measuring 13.2-ish. Yeah, 13.2. Hopefully my meter don't cut off on us. So that one's good. Now let's switch it over to the white and black. I hope I'm getting you guys in camera, because I'm not looking through the camera. There's the white and black, and it's measuring 13.5. So that one's good. So that's really good news. Alright, now let's get the second IF. And on this one, we're going to measure the red and the green again. I'll get you on the camera here. That one's measuring basically 10 ohms, okay. And on this one, we're going to go black to the grid cap. And we just lost our meter. Let me turn it back on. Alright, so we're going to go the black wire to the grid cap. There we go. Oh, because I reset the meter, I forgot to put it back on ohms. There we go. Alright, there we are. 15 between the grid and the black wire. So that's excellent. Both of the IF transformers are testing fine. So really all I got to do is take them apart and clean them, and I'll probably put new leads on them. Okay, so I got the IF out of the housing here, which I've cleaned up, by the way. I'm going to touch up that yellow-white orange capacitor dots, and this was wrapped with a layer of fish paper, which, as you can see, the fish paper was all adhered inside. You can still see inside there that I can't get that fish paper out of there. What's left in there, it's kind of glued in there. So I'm going to cut new fish paper to make a wrap. I think it'll be fine. I'm also going to change these leads because they were super short. It's going to make it easier for me to put them on if they make them longer. And also I'm just going to color code them the way they should be. Unfortunately, I don't have any cloth covered wire in some of these colors, so I'm going to be using some silicone covered wire that's supposedly good to 600 volts to make the change. I'm not thrilled about it, but it is what it is. So I got this all cleaned up, and we just gotta get some wires on it, and I'll bring it back. Okay, so I've got my new leads all soldered on there. I double checked everything, rechecked the ohms, everything looked good. So now all I got to do is try and cram that down inside the cleaned up tube. I got some fish paper cut for it. I'm going to try and cram it in, but I'm not going to be able to do it on the screen because I'm going to be blocking it with my hands and everything. So I'll just bring it back when I got it in there. Okay, I got the transformer crammed in there. I've got my fish paper crammed all the way down in there, and I'm getting ready to put the bottom on it, which is just another piece of fish paper. But let me get that on there. Okay, here's the second IF all done. That turned out pretty good. It looks really good. And now we can focus our efforts on the first IF, which is this ugly one here. And we'll do the same thing, but I'll just bring you back when that's done, and they'll both be done at that point. Okay, there's the first and second IFs all completely done. I tried to maintain the integrity of what I had, so I'm not sure if you can see that 450 kilocycles that was on there originally. Both of those are still there. On this one, it had it like a UL tag. Obviously, I have no way to make that better, but I didn't scrub it off there, that's for sure. And then on this side, I don't know if you can see that or not, there's actually a part number on there, but not sure if you can see it or not. I just avoided it, so obviously it's shiny around that, but that way I kind of left the stuff that was physically there when I took it apart as much as I could. And yeah. Okay guys, I thought I'd show you the top of this chassis. This is directly out of the evaporust. I have not scrubbed it or anything. I took it out of the evaporust, I took it outside and I shot it with some electric contact cleaner just to get that off of it. I probably will take a little steel wool and go over it a little bit, but the rust is gone. I've still got rusted shafts down here. I'm going to hit them with the wire wheel. But I think what I'm going to do, since there's so much pitting going on here anyway, I think I'm going to take creative liberty, and I think I'm going to paint this with a silver hammer paint, because the hammer kind of should hide the pitting a little bit. And even though that wouldn't be original, I'm not too worried about originalities for me, nobody else. So I think that's what we're going to do. So the next time you guys see this chassis on the top side, it's going to be painted with silver hammer paint. But I think that's the direction I'm going to go. I thought about filling the pits, you know, with some spot putty, but I decided, no, I think I'll just leave the pits alone, and we'll just hit the whole thing with hammer paint. If it masks it, good. If it doesn't mask it so well, oh well. It'll be what it is. It'll look better than what it is. So that's the plan.